Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to episode 26 of Extreme Evocast, an all-purpose Pokemon podcast where we talk about news, trivia, and everything related to Pokemon. Good morning. Welcome to a sort of early morning, for me, at least, of course. If you're listening to this at any time other than the morning, then it's not morning for you, but still good morning anyway. Hope you've had a good morning. Hope you've had a good day. Regardless, I just woke up. I have my coffee here for sort of an early morning Evocast, something I don't normally do. So, this is interesting because I think I'm going to label this sort of episode 26 as the beginning of season 2. In huge air quotes of Extreme Evocast. Obviously, nothing's going to be changing. Nothing is going to be different between Season 1 and Season 2. Like, again, season is in huge air quotes because nothing is changing. But I think with the end of the year, the end of this, my first year in podcasting and my first year in Evocast, I'm no longer a baby. I've grown up. I can fend for myself. I'm a big, strong, grown-up podcast, hopefully. I think I want to add a little bit of, continuity or chronology, lore, if you will, to this sort of time span that I'm doing this podcast. So this is considered to be episode 1 of, in, again, huge air quotes, season 2 of Extreme Evocast. Like I said, nothing's going to change. It's just for me. It's just for sort of the satisfaction of being able to call it season 2. So I guess it'll be year 2 is would be a better word for it, but I'm just going to use season because it's easily recognizable, and I like calling it season. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like there's some sort of, there was a grand conclusion to the last year. I mean, there sort of was, because I started something at the very beginning of the year. The beginning of the year of Evocast in February, the end of February of 2019, and I started talking about Pokemon and Smash, and then I started talking about all kinds of Pokemon stuff, getting my bearings, learning how to be a podcaster, learning how to talk about Pokemon, learning how to talk correctly in front of a microphone with nobody there. And last episode we talked about Pokemon and Smash Part 2. That was the end. That was in sort of brackets, the big first year of Extreme Evocast. And this is a new beginning. This is a new year, a new chance. I'm a little late in terms of a new year, but it's a new year for Evocast, and that's all that matters for me. So this is going to be Season 2 of Extreme Evocast. Hope that you have a good time. And I hope this is a good year for me. Hope it's a good year for you. I know, like I said, it's the beginning of March. It's not really a quote-unquote new year, but it is in terms of Evocast lifespan, so that's all I care about. Anyway, we have quite a few things to talk about today. I'm imagining this episode might be short. I'm not sure, just because of the nature of what I have to talk about today. It's not much. Just nothing has really happened in Pokemon recently, and there's one specific topic I'd like to talk about that I'm not sure how much time it's going to take. Again, I know I talked about this before. You know how long it's going to be. I don't need to put a disclaimer saying, oh, this is a short episode, because episode's length is going to vary, you know what I mean? So it's not a huge deal, but I'm just letting you know and sort of prefacing it with this episode might be short. But first, before we get into our main topic of today, we're going to talk about some news, some things going on in the Pokemon community. First of all, not super exciting or, monumental. It's normal type month. Every once in a while, the Pokemon Twitter releases a sort of update on what month it is, and apparently March is normal type month. I don't remember what last month was. I don't think I ever really looked at it. I don't know. It's hard to remember, so excuse me if I don't if I don't update you every month. I'm sure nobody will complain if I don't update you every month about what quote-unquote Pokemon type month it is, but it's normal month. The picture the gift that they used on the thing was Furfrou, a bunch of different Furfrou, and I'm happy to see Furfrou getting some love, especially from the official Pokemon Twitter. It feels good. Next, there is the Pokemon Championships going on. I haven't been super keeping up with the Pokemon Championships, but all I know from the official Pokemon Twitter account that it is day 2, or March 1st was day 2. I think they're over, actually, because it says, witness who will be crowned regional champion when this weekend wraps up. So they might actually be done with it. Let me see if they have any information about it. Pokemon events, 2020 Championship Series. Who won? Are they going to tell me who won? Pokemon Regional Championships. Standard. Okay, no, they're definitely not done yet. They're going for a while, it seems. Cool. Well, the region. I mean, the region is done. You know, the Collinsville, Illinois, from February 29th to March 1st is over. And that was, day 1. Talking about, a few days ago, February 29th, they did day 1 and then day 2, and I imagine it's over now. I'm not sure who the winner is, but Pokemon Championships Regional is happening sort of over time. It's going until like June 7th, happening pretty much once a month. Twice in May, twice in March, once in April, once in June. So catch that if you're interested in that. There's a bunch of TCG championships going on. It always seems in the Pokemon, even from the official Pokemon. Like there's like the international championships, regional championships, the league like there's so many. I'm looking on the website. There's so many going on like we're at the same time. But yeah, that is something I thought that I would talk about. Next, it was Reviewunity Day, or it is Reviewunity Day, where we review the community day. And I hate to say, I didn't get to play this weekend. I missed my opportunity to do the Rhyhorn community day, unfortunately. I was excited about it because it was like the vote, but I didn't have a chance to do it. I hope it was 2 weeks ago, I think. I don't remember. Hold on, let me check exactly when it was. I don't know if we've gotten updates on what the next community day is. Probably not. Pokemon Go community day. Yeah, it was Rhyhorn. When was it? Piplup was recently. Piplup was like 2 weeks ago, or two community days ago. When? It doesn't say when it was. Let me see if I can find it. February Pokemon for community days, Rhyhorn. Here we go. You got Rock Wrecker, Saturday, February 22nd. Yeah, so it was there. Obviously it's done, but it wasn't this weekend. It was last weekend. Or 2 weekends ago, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't have good awareness of time. Let me look at my calendar. It was probably 2 weeks ago. It definitely wasn't this weekend. Was it 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago? It was 2 weeks. It was a week ago. Because the 25th, yeah, it was that weekend. Okay, it was a week ago. It was a weekend ago. I don't know why I'm putting so much effort into remembering what time it was, but yeah, I didn't have a chance to do it. I didn't have a chance to get a shiny Rhyhorn. A bunch of my friends got shiny Rhyhorns, but I was busy. That was the weekend I went to the Renaissance Festival, and looking back on it now, that probably would have been a great time to actually look for them, because it's like a big fair and a big festival. There's a lot of people around there, though I might have gotten yelled at for, they didn't have phones back then. They didn't have Pokemon Go back then. So I don't know. I just didn't remember. I was with a bunch of friends having a good time somewhere. I didn't want to spend all my time playing Pokemon Go, so unfortunately I didn't have a chance to get it, which sucks, but I can still sort of talk about it and wish or hope that everyone who did it got their shiny Rhyhorn. Next, we are going to... Oh, yes. Okay, so Pokemon of the Year. We're going to take a little bit of time in between the news to talk about Pokemon of the Year, Pokemon 2020. I was really excited about this, and we're going to look at the Pokemon that were voted for Pokemon of the Year. I'm not going to go through too much, just sort of going a little bit into it, talking about the actual Pokemon of the Year, some of the runner-ups, and maybe some of the different runner-ups for the regions. I'm trying to access the website right now. It's really finicky. Oh my goodness. Let me look at the list. Thank you. Okay, so it's to nobody's surprise that Greninja won, which honestly, I was surprised. Greninja? Of all Pokemon, like, I don't know, Greninja is like, it's Gen 6. It's kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be Greninja. I mean, Lucario got the next vote by 40,000 votes. Greninja got 40,000 more votes than Lucario did, which was surprising. I mean, Lucario is, infamous for being a very favorite Pokemon of many people. I'm surprised. I just didn't expect it to be Greninja, really. Like, did anyone expect it to be Greninja? Well, congratulations to Greninja, I suppose. But we're going to look at some of the runner-ups, specifically one that I'm extremely excited about. Number 3, Mimikyu. I think it's really funny. I saw someone talking about this on Twitter the other day, how I think it's really funny that Mimikyu is supposed to be, wants to be as popular as Pikachu, but Mimikyu got 3rd and Pikachu got 19th on the Pokemon of the Year. So, I mean, congratulations to Mimikyu. You got what you wanted. It's more popular than Pikachu, according to the fans. Number 4, Charizard. No, to nobody's surprise. Number 5, Umbreon, which was nice to see. I like having some evolution love. Obviously, the evolutions we're going to get there. Umbreon being the most popular doesn't surprise me. Sylveon being the second most popular, though, does surprise me. At number 6, 66,000 votes for Sylveon. Garchomp is number 7. No surprise there. Rayquaza at 8. Very interesting. Gardevoir, number 9. No surprise. Gengar, number 10. No surprise there, of course. And going past the top 10, which a lot of people didn't really look at because the official Pokemon website and YouTube channel and Twitter and everything only really covered the top 10. But number 11, first Sword and Shield Pokemon, Dragapult, which is cool. Obviously, Dragapult is a fan favorite. Again, to nobody's surprise. Probably one of the most popular Sword and Shield Pokemon, I think. Obviously. I literally have the data right here. Apparently 57,000 people thought that Dragapult was their favorite Pokemon, or should have Pokemon of the Year. 12 is Tyranitar. Bulbasaur, sort of a baby, coming in at number 13. Toxtricity at 14. Lugia, 15. We're going to go over the top 30 here. Rowlet at 16. Rowlet's interesting. Like two babies, Bulbasaur and Rowlet. They have all these third evolution super strong Pokemon, and then just Rowlet and Bulbasaur. 17, Aegislash, which is kind of nice. Chandelure, 18, Ghost Pokemon being a big favorite. Fittingly enough, Pikachu and Eevee only like 300 votes off from each other. Pikachu getting 19 and Eevee getting 20. I expected Pikachu and Eevee to be way farther up than 19th and 20th of Pokemon. If you told me, I guess Pikachu's just been oversaturated at this point. So I don't really, it's not super surprising, but it's just surprising that Pikachu didn't get at least top 10. And Eevee too. Eevee is pretty much just as popular as Pikachu at this point. Luxray at 21, which is nice. Decidueye, Rowlet being 16, Decidueye being 22 is funny. Zoroark at 23, which is one that I very much agree with. I love Zoroark. Lycanroc again, only off by 1,000 votes between Zoroark and Lycanroc. A lot of these Pokemon are only off by less than 1,000 votes each. Like Corviknight at 25, Flygon at 26. They're off by 300 votes. Hydreigon at 27, Sceptile at 28. The three Hoenn starters are 28th, Sceptile, 29th, Blaziken, and number 30, the last Hoenn starter, Snom. Of course, no love for Swampert, apparently, which is sad. Swampert's my favorite, if it means anything. But yeah, Snom, Sceptile, Blaziken, and Snom are the top three. The bottom three, I mean, of the top 30. I think Snom being 30th is really funny. I mean, I'm not surprised that Snom got this high, but I think it's just funny that Snom got so high. So yeah, that is the international. Let's filter by region. Top Kanto Pokemon. Top 5 Kanto Pokemon. I guess are they just the same? Yeah, okay, no, they're just they're just the same ones, just sort of in the same list, sort of, but filtered into Kanto. But actually, Charizard is top 1 for Kanto. No surprise. Gengar, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and Eevee. And then that was the last of the Kanto Pokemon in the actual list. So we have a few more. Dragonite at 6, Mewtwo, Arcanine, Lapras, Snorlax. I mean, there's not many Kanto Pokemon. I mean, there's 150. Squirtle, Blastoise, Vaporeon, Mach, Charmander, Ditto. Charmander only being 17th is surprising to me. And Ditto being 18th is... Who's last? I'm not going to go through all of them. That would take a really long time. Magnemite, Articuno at 29th, Venusaur 28th, and Magnemite at 30th. Apparently Magnemite is the 30th top Pokemon. Kanto Pokemon. Let's look at Galar. And then I want to look at Hoenn for own personal reasons, and then we'll move on, because this is, I'm sure that you've all been saturated enough to Pokemon of the Year, but I just want to look for personal reasons. Top 5 for Galar: Alcremie, Snom, of course, Corviknight, Toxtricity, and Dragapult. Yeah, we already know those top 4. Alcremie, really? So Alcremie, and then Cinderace, Zacian, Yamper, of course, at number 8. Wooloo, no surprise. Inteleon, Surfetch'd. I mean, that makes sense. Squirtbunny, Hatterene, Sobble, Meltan. Is Meltan a Galar Pokemon? I guess it is. I don't see Meltan as a Galar Pokemon at all. I see it as I don't know. I see it as more of just like an outlier. I don't think I guess it's Galar and more. Is I think what it was filtered by. It doesn't say that on this website, but I think when you were voting for it, it was Galar and more, which I assume considers Meltan, because I don't think Meltan is considered Gen 8. Is it? Hold on, I need to look at this right now. Is Meltan considered Gen 8? What? Because it's I know it's in Pokemon Go. I consider it a Pokemon Go Pokemon, in all honesty. I don't, because it's also in Gen 7. So is it really a Gen 8 Pokemon if it's in a Gen 7 game? I don't think so. Let's look at Bulbapedia. Yeah, it was introduced in Gen 7. It's a Gen 7 Pokemon. It's not a Gen 8. Technically, I suppose it is. I know it's in between, because Zeraora is 807 and Meltan is 808, and then it goes Melmetal and then Grookey. So who knows? I consider it a Pokemon Go Pokemon. It is technically introduced in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but in all honesty, I would say it's a Pokemon Go Pokemon. I know that's weird, and I know it's not... It needs to be part of a generation, but I don't know. Just calling it Gen 8 just sounds weird to me. Phalanx, 16. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I mean, if you're listening to this and you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Phalanx. I ran the Phalanx Marching account on Twitter, and it got 14,000 followers in a month. And then soon died after because nobody cared about Phalanx anymore. So, it sort of came and gone, but I still love Phalanx. Phalanx is one of my favorite Pokemon. Appleton, Eternatus, number 18. Not what I was expecting. More Pico, Grookey. People like Eternatus more than they like Grookey. That can't be right. Grimmsnarl, Zamazenta. Wow. People do not like Zamazenta. Zacian is number 7. And Zamazenta is number 22. Why is there such a difference between them? Rip. Melmetal's 23. Centiscorch, Dracovish, Frostmoth, Ice-Q. Is Ice-Q a fan favorite? I mean, I guess so. People like Ice-Q more than they like Obstagoon. Rillaboon is 29. And Cramorant is 30. Not surprising. Anyway, let's quickly look at Hoenn. I just want to see what the top 30 Hoenn Pokemon are. I'm not going to go in a huge list. Blaziken was the first. No, not Blaziken. I think it's Rayquaza. Sceptile, Flygon, Gardevoir, and then Rayquaza. Rayquaza is the top Hoenn Pokemon. I want to look at some of the other ones. Where's Swampert fall in? Mudkip is before Swampert. So it goes. I know I'm sort of info dumping here and just sort of listing off a bunch of Pokemon, and I apologize. I hope this is tolerable enough, but Blaziken and Sceptile are number 5 and 4, and then Mudkip is 6. The 3 Hoenn starters, Sceptile, Blaziken, and Mudkip. Where's Swampert? Okay, Swampert's number 11. God, people really don't like Swampert, huh? Metagross is number 7, not surprising. Jirachi, Milotic, Absol, Salamence, Aeron. Aeron is before Aggron? People like Aeron more than Aggron? That doesn't make sense. Latios, Altaria, Kyogre, Mawile, Breloom. I love Breloom. Torchic, Latios, Groudon, Deoxys at 23, Grovyle, Banette, Trico. Man, a lot of love for the Trico line here. Sableye, Ludicolo, Shedinja, and Mightyena. Ooh. Well, I say ooh, but it got 6,000 votes. So, I mean, hey. Anyway, let's move on from that. Congratulations to all the Pokemon that got Pokemon of the Year for all, which of course is Greninja, and congratulations to some of the other Pokemon that got some love. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna stop talking about Pokemon of the Year and actually go into something a little more interesting, which we can go into the trailer, which I'm not going to cover too much because 1, it's in Japanese, and 2, we don't really know all that much about it. We're going to talk about Koko, not the Disney movie, but the new Pokemon movie coming out soon. Pokemon Koko is what it's called. We got a trailer for it. I don't know what it says because it's in Japanese. I will read the Cerebi information about it. It says, the trailer showcases a shiny Celebi flying in the forest. Later on, it shows Ash meeting the boy in the forest who says his name is Koko. The trailer shows Koko living with the Pokemon in the forest, but before too long, the forest is under attack. Koko falls off a cliff to be saved by a Zarude who raised Koko. And you're probably thinking, Lily, you didn't cover Zarude yet. We're getting to that, don't worry. We're going to talk about Koko first, and then we'll talk about Zarude more in depth in a moment. But, I mean, it looks okay. I have things to say. I talked about this last time. I think I addressed my opinion about Zarude and the new mythical Pokemon, and I don't like the format that they use for mythical Pokemon. I really hope that it's actually different this time, and we get some sort of story element in the game and not just a mystery gift that's paired with the movie. You know how I feel. They did it with Hoopa. They did it with Zero Aura. They did it with Diancie. It's the same. It's all the same. All the mythical Pokemon are the same. Yeah, they're fun Pokemon, and I'm not opposed to new Pokemon. I just wish that they would have some sort of actual impact on the game and not just be, hey, watch this movie. It just doesn't feel like Pokemon. You know what I mean? I could talk about this for hours, and I'm not going to. It's like the one big gripe I have with the way Pokemon does things every so often. But first of all, let's talk about Koko. The movie looks good. I stopped watching the Pokemon movies after, I think, the Arceus movie. I saw the Zoroark one. I saw some other ones. I watched all of the old Pokemon movies, and then once they started doing the sort of mythical Pokemon stuff, I stopped because I was angry and I just wasn't interested anymore. It's also around the time that I stopped watching the Pokemon anime, which was after Gen 4. When I was a kid, I never watched the Gen 5 anime, and I stopped watching the movies after that, which is something I almost wish that I didn't do because I like the animes, but I, I could talk about this again forever. Maybe one day I'll watch them again, but for now, I'm probably not gonna watch this movie. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a review of it in an episode of Evocast, just because I have a podcast now and the new movie's coming out and stuff, and maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll see how I feel. But you can maybe expect that. I'll let you know, probably, most likely. I'll give a little bit of hindsight, like when it's about to come out, be like, oh yeah, I'll watch it and give it a review and talk about it on an episode of Evocast. Maybe not cover it in an entire episode. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how good the movie is and if I even decide to watch it. But it looks okay. I mean, I like the style they're going with. It's different from the it's more akin to the Sword and Shield anime, but it's actually not just like an episode of like a long episode of the anime. It's like a totally. It actually looks pretty good. The animation and the art style is really nice. I especially like the way they did Ash in this movie, judging by the trailer. But yeah, I mean, it looks okay. Like I said, I might watch it, I might not. We will see. And of course, this movie features the new mythical Pokemon, Zarude, who is a dark grass type and has the ability Leaf Guard. I never actually looked to see what Leaf Guard did. Let me look this up. I don't think, is it an already existing move? It might be. Leaf Guard. Oh, it is. It is, okay, no, it is an already existing ability. So it's not a special ability. They're just giving it to Zarude. During harsh sunlight, Leaf Guard prevents the Pokemon from being afflicted by a non-volatile status condition and yawn. That sucks. Man, I'm not surprised people were saying that Leaf Guard is a bad ability for Zarude. That's really bad. Especially for a mythical Pokemon. That's horrible. I'm sorry. That's really bad. Yeah, that's not great. The trailer didn't really show very much. It just kind of showed Zarude attacking a poor Dreadnought. Jesus. 4 times super effective. Poor thing. They showed it using Vine Whip or whatever move that is. I'm not sure what move that is. But they sort of just had it appear. They showed Zarude, type, Dark Grass, ability, Leaf Guard. And then they showed it just absolutely destroying a Dreadnought, and then the video ended. So, not really sure how to feel. We don't know that much about it. It's here. It's coming, and ready or not, here it is. But, cool, I suppose. It's an interesting Pokemon. I'm not really a fan of monkeys, so I don't really have an opinion about it. It looks good. I mean, I like the design. I like the sort of style they're going with this Pokemon. And of course, it ties into the movie, which is why, of course, it exists in the first place. Once again, I could talk about that topic forever, but I'm not going to get into it. I already did get into it a little bit today, and I'm pretty sure I talked about it last time, so you don't have to hear me ranting about the way they do mythical Pokemon. I will spare you that for now. If they release another one, you can bet that I'll be talking about this again. But anyway, yeah, Zarude, interesting, cool. Ties in with the movie, which I'm excited, in big, huge air quotes, to watch. Not really sure how I feel about it right now. We don't know too much about the movie. We don't know too much about the Pokemon. That's all I can really say. Next, a little bit more stuff about Pokemon Go. I know we're going from huge news to semi-big news, and then to just small news. Not usually the format we go with. Normally I talk about the bigger stuff at the end, but mix it up a little bit. There's tickets for the new Pokemon Go Safari Zone, which is in Philadelphia this time. Are coming. Let me see if I can find the. Where's the thing for it? I lost it on Cerebi. I think it was before all this stuff. Maybe not. Here we go. Tickets for recently announced Pokemon Go Safari Zone Philadelphia are now available. Not sure how long that lasts for, but if you're interested in going to the Pokemon Go Safari Zone, I mean, this was like a week ago, so it might be gone already. I'm not sure. So if you're listening to this now, they might. I'm not sure. I can't confirm. They might be gone. They might not be. I'm not sure. It doesn't say on Cerebi. But I thought I would mention it. Last but not least, for the news, there's new Funko Pops. New Funko Pops coming. You know I'm a big fan of the Funko Pops. I'm not a big fan of Funko Pops. So don't take my words lightly. I'm not a fan of Funko Pops. I'm a fan of the Pokemon Funko Pops. I have a few Funko Pops of just like random things. I think I have like a Vegeta one and like a Diva from Overwatch one, which is cool. But I really like the Pokemon ones, of course, because I mean, I have a Pokemon podcast. Of course I like Pokemon. But I like them. I think they're cool. And there's new ones coming. So I have the Pikachu and the Bulbasaur ones. I don't have the Charmander one. And I don't know if Squirtle is a thing. I need to get my hands on them if they are. I want to have them. Oh, and there's Eevee too. Yeah, I'm missing quite a few. There's Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and Eevee right now. I do not have Eevee. I forgot Eevee was a thing. Oh, I want the Eevee one. Oh, and Mewtwo. There's so many I don't have. That's okay. The Eevee one's so cute, though. Anyway, let's talk about the new ones and not just reminisce about the ones that I don't have. So there's an Angry Pikachu, Growlithe, Cubone, and Rattata. Due for release in North America soon. And I gotta say, they're so cute. They're adorable. I love them. The Angry Pikachu one is okay. I mean, it's just another Pikachu. But Rattata, I love Rattata. I love Growlithe. Cubone's okay. Interesting that they're doing some more obscure Kanto Pokemon. I kind of like it. I kind of like that they're doing that. It's maybe they'll do like a bunch of them, like a bunch of like fan favorites from all the generations. That would be fun. I wouldn't be surprised if we would see some, Grookey, Squirtbunny, and Sobble Funko Pops coming soon. But I like that they're giving some obscure Pokemon I wouldn't call Rattata obscure. You know what I mean? Some unloved Pokemon, some well-deserved love, like Cubone and Rattata and Growlithe and Angry Pikachu. But, they got to throw in a few fan favorites there every once in a while. I mean, we already got, the Kanto starters, Eevee, Mewtwo, all the ones that everyone and their mom knows about. And finally, I wouldn't call this news. Before we get into the main topic of today, I want to say that I downloaded Pokemon Home. I know, aren't you proud of me? I didn't do that beforehand. I didn't do it when it first came out. I think I mentioned this last episode that I didn't want to because I wanted to wait until I could afford premium, but I lied. I cracked and I got it. I paid for like a month of premium so I could transfer all of my Pokemon to Pokemon Home from all of my games. It was really fun going through a bunch of my old games and sort of looking through all my Pokemon, bringing them all together. I pretty much took every single Pokemon from all of my games, all of my past games. Well, the 3DS ones. I don't think I have any games, the older games, like, the Game Boy games or the DS ones, the normal DS ones, like Platinum, that I haven't already restarted. So I don't have any Pokemon that I would be willing to bring over from those older games. But I brought them all over from like XY, Oras, Ultramoon, Sun and Moon, and it was fun. I took all of my shinies from earlier, and I think I have like 50 or 60, maybe not that much, like 40. I don't know. I should count them. Just from like all my time of shiny hunting in all the earlier Pokemon games. But I have quite a few. It's really nice to sort of bring them all over into one area. I also took all my Pokemon, or all my shinies, from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Not any of my other Pokemon. I don't really need all those Kanto Pokemon. Plus, I have the I had the living dex in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I didn't want to give that up. I wanted to savor it. Considering I have both of them, I'm kind of leaving my Let's Go Eevee to just be a trophy, having the living dex and having the shiny charm and all that stuff. And then my Let's Go Pikachu is like my actual, if I ever want to replay the game, I would play on Let's Go Pikachu. But anyway, it was nice to sort of bring them all over and see all my Pokemon, all my shinies specifically, in Pokemon Home. I transferred all of the ones that I could to Sword and Shield. I also took, that was my way of getting all of the Pokemon that I needed, for my living dex in Sword and Shield, like, the Alola starters, Mewtwo, Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, all that stuff. I'm pretty sure I had everyone, or at least the means to collect all of them. Like, I don't think I had, like, a Litten, a Torracat, and an Incineroar, but I'm pretty sure I had an Incineroar, so I can always just breed and evolve some Littens to get that living dex, which is nice, and that's a project that I'm excited to work on, because I have the living dex in Sword and Shield, and I plan on continuing that trend. Once all the new Pokemon come out for the DLC, I plan on getting the living dex for all those Pokemon. I know the Pokedex, quote unquote, doesn't really need any more updating. I don't think there wouldn't be any prizes maybe necessarily for getting all those Pokemon, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's fun and I enjoy doing stuff like that. But Pokemon Home is nice. The interfaces are really nice. It's easy to use. It's cool. I like the challenges. I talked about pretty much everything to do with Pokemon Home last episode, when it was released. But the one thing I didn't talk about was my personal sort of feelings about it. And there you go. I finally downloaded it. I bought a month of premium so I could transfer my Pokemon, and I like it. It's fun. I traded away like all of my shinies that weren't mine, or ones that I didn't want anymore, like some earlier ones that I have duplicates of and stuff, to the Wonder Box, which was nice. It felt good. I gave away like 20, 22 just like shiny Pokemon. Some of them were probably hacked. I never hacked the game personally, but I probably accumulated a few hacked, like level 100. I think I got like a level 100 shiny Dialga, which I almost am certain that it was hacked. But, I traded it away anyway. Someone got a nice surprise in the Wonder Box, and I hope they appreciated that. Maybe at some point I'll talk about some of the more obscure features of Pokemon Home, like the Wonder Box and stuff, and the trading system, specifically with the mobile app. You can't do any of that stuff on the normal Switch one, but you can do like the Wonder Box and trading with friends and the GTS and stuff on the mobile app, which I didn't know. I thought you could do everything on one, or on the Switch version, but apparently you can't. Apparently you need to have the mobile version in order to have access to those things. Anyway, let's move on. That concludes our sort of news section, by the way. Let's continue to the first segment of today, and then we will get on to the main topic of today. Of course, this segment I always do, Random Pokemon of the Week, everybody's favorite segment where we talk about a random Pokemon every episode. Remembered this time. I didn't say week, I said episode. And today we are going to talk about Snorunt. Snorunt is a Ice-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 3. Man, that's all my favorites. Gen 3, Ice-type Pokemon. Heck yeah. It evolves into Glalie, starting at level 42, or if female, Frostless when exposed to a Dawnstone. It has a 50-50 male ratio. It is Ice-type, of course, number 361. It is the Snow Hat Pokemon. It has Inner Focus, or Ice Body, or Moody is its hidden ability. It is 2'4". Well, that's a lot taller than I thought it was going to be. Or 0.7 meters, and only 37 pounds, or 16.8 kilograms. Let's see. Let's look at Snorunt. Let's first talk about the elephant in the room. Have you guys ever seen that picture of the reference sheet for the anime? It's on Bulbapedia, for Snorunt, where it shows Snorunt without its hat on. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect it to be. It's just a little orb. It's just a little. It's literally Snorunt without the hat. Like, it's just an orb. It just got little hands and feet. It's so cute. But yeah, Snorunt can take off his little hat. And it's adorable. Snorunt's just adorable in general. So, you know, that goes without saying. I really like Snorunt. It's cute. It's always been one of my favorite Pokemon. Just because of its design, and also because I really like Frostlass and I really like Lillie. It's cute. It's a cute Pokemon. It's an interesting Pokemon. I mean, it's, you know, like, what is it? It's just an orb with a hat on, I guess, or like a coat. My favorite thing about Snorunt, I would say, in the 3D games, maybe it doesn't in like black and white. It does a little bit in black and white in the animated sprites, but it shivers. It just like its animation. It shivers, which is adorable. They're so cute. Like you know, it doesn't have any really special animations, but it just shakes like it's always cold, and it's sad. But it's adorable. I love Snorunt. Let's talk about the thing that I always forget to do, which is go over the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon quotes. You know, I a while ago I wanted to make this a tradition, and I totally forgot to. I always forget to do it, though, so we're gonna do it right now. So Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team, and Blue Rescue Team, they have little phrases when you talk to them, it's depending on how much HP they have. Apparently, Snorunt from 51% to 100 HP says, "Did you know? You can grow rich by being with me." What does that mean? You can grow rich by being with me. When it's on low health, it says, "Oh, please, my health is half gone already." And then from quarter health, it says, "I'm sorry, I can take the cold, but not this." And on level up, it says, "I leveled up. I wonder if you'll get richer." What is Snorunt like a millionaire? What is going on? Why is Snorunt talking about being rich? Why can I get rich if I have a Snorunt? Interesting. I also do want to say that the Pokemon Shuffle, there's two sprites for Pokemon Shuffle. There's the Pokemon Shuffle and the Pokemon Shuffle mobile game. The first one, in the Pokemon Shuffle, it's just Snorunt. It's exactly what you would think. But in the Pokemon Shuffle mobile, it's smiling and winking. You know, he knows something we don't. Why is it winking in the Pokemon Shuffle mobile sprite? There's no reason why it would be doing that, but it's snarky. It's giving a little wink and a little smile. What's going on, Snorunt? What do you know that we don't? Is it the rich stuff again? Who knows? I like it. I like him. He's adorable. Let's talk about some trivia. Snorunt's Pokemon Platinum Pokedex, which we have to go over, I just remembered, entry seems to reference Koropokuguru, a small race of people in Ainu folklore. They are said to live under the leaves of plants in harmony. The Ainu live in Hokkaido, a place in Japan which Sinnoh is based. Interesting. Super Smash Bros. Brawl Snorunt Trophy incorrectly claims that only male Snorunt evolve in a Glalie, which is not true. You can actually have a female Glalie. I think you can just have a female Glalie anyway. Yeah, so like only you can just have a female Glalie, but if it is female, you can evolve it into a Frostlass if you want to. Let's look at what Snorunt is based on. Snorunt is based on a Yukinko, a childlike spirit in Japanese mythology said to emerge when it snows, as well as the Shiki Warashi, a mischievous spirit from the folklore of Iwate Prefecture. It also seems to be a stylized version of a person wearing a yukimino, a type of traditional winter wear from snowy parts of Japan that consists of a conical snow cloak made of straw. Wow. Let me look up the Yukinko. Maybe that'll explain these sort of rich. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, these are from Final Fantasy. Well, I want the ones from Japanese folklore. Oh, I see. See, I'm getting the ones from Final Fantasy. Okay, They're just little spirits who wear like straw, sort of these, these Japanese things. They're cute. I see. That is what they're based on. Oh, that's adorable. I recommend looking up Yukinko on Google. They're adorable. Not looking at the Final Fantasy ones, of course, but the actual ones from Japanese mythology. They're cute. It makes sense. I can see what Snorunt is based on now. It's adorable. It doesn't say anything about being rich. Yuki Onna. Oh, that's what Frostlass is based on. That makes sense. Okay. It makes sense that Snorunt would be based on sort of the same mythology as Frostlass. Cool. Anyway, let's get to some Pokedex entries. From Ruby Sapphire, Snorunt lives in regions with heavy snowfall. In seasons without snow, such as spring and summer, this Pokemon steals away to live quietly among stalactites and stalagmites deep in caverns. Snorunt survives by eating only snow and ice. Old folklore claims that a house visited by this Pokemon is sure to prosper for many generations to come. It can withstand cold of minus 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Or minus 100 degrees Celsius. In the snow country, certain folklore says a house will prosper, blah, 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 blah. It is said, this is the fabled platinum Pokedex entry that they were talking about. It is said that several Snorunt gather under giant leaves and live together in harmony. It's said that if they are seen at midnight, they'll cause heavy snow. They eat ice and snow to survive. Cool. That's pretty much all there is. No, a lot of the other ones, the later ones, are just repeats. But yeah, interesting. Snorunt's Shiny. Oh, I like it. I forgot about Snorunt Shiny. I've always really liked Snorunt Shiny. It's just blue. It's pretty much the same, except the yellow around its coat becomes like a very, very bright sky blue. And the sort of diamonds on its back become yellow, which looks really good, if I'm being honest with you. And sort of the lining around the hood also becomes yellow. I actually really enjoy Shiny Snorunt. What do I want to give this? It doesn't seem like there's any really huge variation between the sprites and the 3D models, which is to be expected. I mean, it's Snorunt. It's just a baby. It's like what sort of variation could there be? I guess in the colors, but they seem to be the same throughout the entire thing. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 9. 8 out of 9. An 8 out of 10. It's cool. It's not perfect. It could be a little bit more interesting, but I like it. It does what it does, and it does it well. So, 8 out of 9. Or 8 out of 10. Why do I keep saying 8 out of 9? 8 out of 10 for Snorunt Shiny. And before we move on, finally, I just want to say, I'm not going to go over Snorunt a lot in competitive, because the first line of the overview written by Starly, the Pokemon, on Smokon.com for Snorunt, it says, with an awful typing and a 50 base stats across the board, Snorunt is completely unviable in Little Cup. I just want to preface that. But Snorunt has 50 everything. 50 HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed, which is interesting. It's like a mythical Pokemon, but worse. The set is Spikes, Frost Breath, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power Fighting, Choice Scarf, Inner Focus, Modest Nature, which is plus special attack minus attack, level 5, blah blah blah. And it says poor abilities in Inner Focus and Ice Body only continue to plummet Snorunt's value, and a lackluster move pool prevents it from being a semi-effective battler. Amora has better coverage along with better attacking stats, making it the superior Ice-type Pokemon in the metagame. Wow, nothing good about this Pokemon. It's just trash. Well, let's move on. Poor Snorunt. I'm sorry, Snorunt. You're just not very good at competitive, but it sure is darn cute. And finally, I know we are 50 minutes into the episode already. Never mind what I said about this episode being short. Gosh darn. We're going to do... It's not going to be a super big thing. I know it's already 50 minutes in, so I don't have a lot of time to really talk about this. But I want to do a little bit of a review of the new movie that just came out, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It came out on Netflix on Thursday, so almost a week ago today. And it was okay. I will say first off, I think that no matter what I say in this review, if you enjoyed the first one, you will enjoy this one because it is just a straight up remake. And I enjoyed it. I really like the first movie. It's a huge childhood movie of mine. I very, very much enjoy it. But it was good. It's on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, I'm sorry. I've sort of been hyping up this movie. I talked about it quite a lot, probably more than I should have. But now I'm finally here to give my sort of final thoughts about the movie and whether or not you should watch it, which, spoiler alert, you should. Even if you've never seen the original movie, I would recommend watching the original. The original sort of has that nostalgic charm to it that this movie just, I don't think, can capture, unfortunately. But so if you've never seen the first Pokemon movie, I would say watch the original, and then maybe watch this one if you're interested. But if you have seen the original and it's been a while, I would say give this one a watch. First of all, the soundtrack is almost the best part of this movie. The music is beautiful. It's of course, it's pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the original. There's a few differences which I don't remember 100%. I have a few notes about it that I took down while I was watching it. There's a few differences. None that I could necessarily immediately remember, so they're not too diverse or they're not too important for it to be such a big deal. It's pretty much just a shot for shot, but the soundtrack is beautiful. The music is so good. I don't remember exactly, the music in the first movie. I probably should have, if I was going to do a complete professional review of this movie, I would probably watch the first one first and then go back and watch this one, but I didn't want to watch the same movie twice. And I remember it pretty well from my childhood, so, I thought that I could just go into it. But the soundtrack, let's not beat around the bush. It's amazing. The music is beautiful, and just like the sounds, too. The voice acting is good. The Pokemon sounds are cool. The sound design in this movie is probably the best part, I think. The music is gorgeous in this movie. And similarly, the visuals. And I'm making a big distinction here. The visuals were great. The graphics, I suppose you could call it the graphics, quote unquote, were beautiful. The texturing was really good. The sky and the water and the background elements were gorgeous. The design for the characters, I think, was really good. The Pokemon looked really good. They looked just like they did in the first one, just literally in 3D. And it was really good, I think. The visuals, the actual look of the movie is beautiful. I know a lot of people complained about the look of the people and how they looked a little bit weird. I personally didn't really ever have a problem with it. I can definitely see where they're coming from, but personally, I thought it looked really good. I thought they all looked really good. And I'm not, I thought they looked fine. It was definitely a little bit uncanny at some points, but I think it was okay. But yeah, like I said, the visuals, the look of the movie was absolutely gorgeous. And the reason why I'm distinguishing between the visuals and the animation is because, in all honesty, the animation was pretty lackluster. The animation quality was not great. Sometimes things looked really smooth, sometimes they looked okay, and sometimes they looked just plain weird. Specifically, Like, it's so sad because I feel like it could have been so much better if the animation wasn't kind of unbearable. It's not too bad. It really, really isn't that bad. The animation quality is... It falls short sometimes. Sometimes the characters move in weird ways, or they move unfluidly, or it doesn't look natural. The Pokemon moves really weird sometimes. I mean, like, the camera work... I say camera work, it's a CG animated movie. You know what I mean. The shots are beautiful. The actual, the staging and the shots are really, really good, but just sometimes the animation just doesn't hold up. Specifically, what I wanted to say was, the scene where the Pokemon, spoilers for the movie, kind of. I mean, if you've never seen it, you wouldn't really know what I'm talking about. The scene where the Pokemon and the clone Pokemon are fighting. In the movie, in the first one, in the original, it's supposed to be this super emotional scene and really, really sad and stuff like that, but it just looked really weird. It looked really awkward in the CG one. In the remake, it didn't hold up, I don't think, at all. The animation from CG, the sort of way that they animated it, that anime animation style, just didn't hold up. It looked so awkward. I couldn't help but laugh, honestly, when they were fighting in slow motion, and it's supposed to be this super dramatic moment, super intense, and it just looked really funny, and I couldn't help but laugh. And that's really the only huge gripe I have with the movie, is the animation quality, and other sort of continuity mistakes. For example, when they go into the water, which happens a lot more than you think in this movie. They go into the water quite a lot. There's the whole scene in the beginning where they go across the water and all that stuff. Their hair doesn't get wet. These characters are completely submerged in water, and their hair is just as poofy, just as anime, and sort of literally the same exact way. Their body gets wet, their clothes don't get wet, and their hair just doesn't change when they go in the water, and it just looks really weird. I know that that's sort of something that anime doesn't necessarily do all the time, and I can't remember if they did that in the original. And when it's animated hand-drawn like that, it sort of is okay, especially in that kind of style. But seeing it in a CG animated movie, it just looks so weird. It looks like they have this pocket of air around them that prevents them from getting wet. And that's a very specific gripe, I think, but it just looks really weird. And I think that falls into the animation quality being not very good, which, like I said, is pretty much the only huge negative I have about this movie. Everything else is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's not a bad movie, I don't think. It falls short, I think, of the original. And, that's to be expected, because it's a remake. But I think as a standalone movie, it's pretty darn good. I think that they did a great job. I think that the visuals look really, really good. I haven't really talked too much about the movie itself. The voice acting was good. They brought back a lot of the original voice actors, for Mewtwo. Same voice actors for Jesse and James, Ash, a lot of the other characters, I think. But Brock and Misty have different voices. But I do have to say, it was a little bit jarring at first, hearing different voices for Brock and Misty. I don't know. I know they came back in the Sun and Moon anime, and I don't know who voice acts them, if it's the original or if it's different people. And not knowing that, I think that the people who voice acted Brock and Misty in the remake do a really good job at capturing their character. I don't know if it's the same people. It certainly doesn't sound like it. Obviously, it's been almost, over 20 years at this point, so they're not going to have the same voice acting as they did back then, but it actually holds up pretty well, and they do a good job at capturing their character pretty well. I think that they're okay. A lot of the other voicing is fine. The Pokemon sound okay. Overall, it's a good movie. I would, like I said, if you haven't seen the movie before, watch the first one. watch the original, I think, and then maybe, like I said, give the remake a try in the future or immediately after if that's your style. If you want to sort of compare the two, go ahead. I recommend it. I know a lot of people, you might hear a lot of other people not recommend it, which is fine, totally understandable. Personally, I didn't have that huge of a problem with it. I thought it was good enough. Definitely falls short in some points, but I think it's worth giving it a watch. I really, really do. The biggest thing that I was enamored by this movie with was the look of it. It was beautiful. And like I said, the animation quality sort of falls short. And it can ruin the sort of immersion sometimes with how beautifully gorgeous this movie is. But I think that it is fine. I'm sort of going back and forth saying the same points over and over again, but I think my final thoughts is that it's a gorgeous movie. The animation sort of ruins the immersion sometimes. It's a little bit rough to watch at some points, like I said, with the Pokemon fighting and stuff, but I don't think it ruins the movie, and I don't think it adds enough to warrant not giving this movie a watch at all. I understand not liking it for that reason. I think that's a totally valid point. But personally, I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was beautiful. I enjoyed it. And yeah, that's that. Anyway, we are going to wrap things up with the final segment of today's episode, which is, of course, Move Tutor, everybody's favorite segment where we talk about a random move every episode. And today's move is Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam, previously formatted as Bubble Beam with no space prior to Pokemon X and Y, is a damage-dealing water-type move introduced in Generation 1. It was TM11 in Generation 1. Bubble Beam has a PP of 20, max 32, a power of 65, accuracy of 100%. Bubble Beam does damage and has this is in Gen 1. Bubble Beam does damage and has a 33.2% chance of lowering the target's speed stat by 1 stage. Wow, and in Generation 2 and onward, it only has a 10% chance of lowering the target speed stat by 1 stage. So it was heavily nerfed in Gen 2, apparently. Some of the descriptions: a water-type attack, stronger than Bubble. Many water-type Pokemon learn this move. Amazing. Thank you, Pokemon Stadium. An attack that may lower speed. Forcefully sprays bubbles that may lower speed. A spray of bubbles is forcefully ejected at the target. This may also lower its speed stat. That's it. It's Bubble Beam. What do you want me to say? Like I said, I feel like a lot of moves in this sort of segment are just like, it's this. What do you want me to say? It's Bubble Beam. But yeah, giving some love to this Pokemon. It's a special move. It is a beautiful move, which makes sense. Like I said, like it says in the game, it's similar to Bubble. It's sort of just a stronger version of Bubble. Sort of like the Dragon Quest style, upgrading tiers, like Sizz and Sizzle, Bubble and Bubble Beam, sort of. I assume that's what they were going with. Pokemon Stadium literally says stronger than Bubble, so it's just a stronger version of Bubble. Is there any trivia about this move? If Secret Power is used on a pond in Generation 3, it will have the animation of Bubble Beam. Amazing. All right. I think that is going to do it for me for today. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.